Hi everyone, welcome to Wonder Boys Collectibles, where I complain about figures in hopes of saving you some of your hard-earned cash. In today's video, I'll be ranting about the amazing Yamaguchi All Might by Revoltech. And for those of you new to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button, as it'll go a long way in motivating me to create more videos like this. But before we start, let me share with you why I make my videos. Now, as we all know, figure collecting is a very expensive hobby and not all of us can afford it. Some of us have to be selective in our purchases. So my videos try to give you a different perspective by focusing on the problems that are not normally covered during regular reviews. But that doesn't mean I dislike the figures. After all, I purchased them. But more so, these are the things I wish I knew before I bought it. And hopefully my experiences help you decide what's a hit or miss for your collection. So without further delay, let's start off with the first problem with this figure. Okay, so for the first problem I have with this figure is the pegs. They're a bit loose. So as you can see here, if I were to take out this fist, I'm just going to use my pinky finger. Just by pulling it out, it comes off. So there have been multiple times where I've been trying to pose it and the fist or hands just keep popping off. Next is the sculpt. So the overall sculpt does look pretty decent, but it's a bit weird on certain places. For example, if we look at the bicep, so from the side it looks fine, but as soon as I lift the arm a bit, it's a bit flat. So it does give the impression that the muscles are not proportionate. At the same time, the chest sculpt also does make him look like he's wearing a bit of armor because of the two flaps you see on the side here. Now these flaps don't move, but I believe they are to help with a bit of articulation, maybe in the neck and the arm. So things to take note when posing this figure: if posed at the wrong angle, these can be a bit obvious. Joint gaps, and this figure does have a fair bit of them. So as you can look here at the feet, there's a gap right there, so that's pretty obvious. Next, if we look at the shoulder, right here you can see the ball point of articulation right there, so that's a gap as well. Now, due to the flaps at the chest as well, you can see some gaps there and there. So be mindful when posing to avoid seeing these gaps. Most of the figures for the amazing Yamaguchi line are known for their articulation, and this figure is no exception. But on certain parts I do think they could have done more. First off is the chest. As you can see, the chest is somehow made so the posture of this guy is kind of curved, so moving him down is fine. But if you want to do a Superman pose, right, go all the way back, this is the furthest he'll go. Any more I pull, he would just snap off. So that's the most he can go. Next also is, as you can see, so they have articulation here, but they also have articulation at the thighs. Now, one thing I didn't like about it is, if I were to move it, as you can see here, right, so I move it, now the paint doesn't match with it. So articulation is there, could have done a bit more. If you've been following my past videos, you know I'm not a big fan of rubber parts, simply because rubber deteriorates over time. It's very susceptible to heat and the color does fade, and it's a common problem across figures. Now this figure does have a few rubber parts. The belt is rubber, the sides of this chest is also rubber, so if you were to overstretch it, there's a chance, as you can see here, it won't come back. Now the shoulder is also rubber, so as you can see, this is a very good example. My shoulder part has already disfigured itself, so as you can see, this shoulder is fine. This shoulder is already disfigured, right, because it's rubber. So a few things to note. The arms as well is rubber. So finally is the accessories, and if you've been collecting the amazing Yamaguchi line, you'll be aware that normally they come with a lot of accessories, but for the All Might version, it does come with considerably a lot less. On the right hand side here, I actually have the Iron Man version, which, as you can see, has a lot more accessories, which on that note is still unboxed, and if you like to see me review it, do drop a comment in the comment bar and I'll probably consider it for my next video. So why did I buy this figure? One simple answer: posability. I wanted a really dynamic figure to capture the essence of All Might's personality. I mean, even in the anime, he was so dramatic. And this figure delivers on all of that. However, I do have some concern on the shelf life of this figure, but that's a story for another day. And with that, brings me to the end of this quick video. If you like my video, don't forget to click a like on the button below, and also subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for my next videos. Till then, good luck collecting! please, 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 please.